do some contouring, and we're gonna start off by doing my highlight. So if you're somebody that wants to or doesn't have the funds to necessarily invest in a highlighting kit, there are a lot of discounted versions of it. Now, myself personally, I prefer this MAC Studio Finish Concealer Duo, and I have it in NW25 and NC30. You do want your highlight to be warmer, because it should not be it shouldn't be absorbing the light. It should be reflecting it, right? So you want it to be a little bit warmer. If it's colder, I feel you don't get as bright of a tone with your highlight, and your highlight should be like bam, but not so bam that it doesn't look natural. So this is what I'm going to use for my highlight. This is not, I think this must maybe costing like $28, but there are some other options. I know NYX makes a palette. There's a few other palettes out there, but like I said, when it comes to foundation and contouring, I like to spend some money. Another option is if you don't want to go out and buy a contour kit. You know that foundation that's been sitting in your cabinet because it's too light, or when you have to switch your makeup between the summer because it's too light because it's during the winter. This Becca one is super light. If I try to put this on my face right now, it would look like chalk, but it's light enough to where it could be used as a highlighter. So if you have extra foundation that it's been like, you know, you're keeping it around because maybe you went to the drugstore to get your foundation and you matched it in properly, and you're like, well, I'll just throw it in the drawer, it only cost me $6. That might be a really good highlighter for you to get you started. If you don't have a palette at home, don't stress out. Don't think you have to necessarily have a palette. You know, use some about 2 to 3 shades lighter is what your highlighter should be. So we're going to take a little bit of this. I'm actually going to use a really light one because I like my highlight to just stand out from the crowd. And the easiest way to learn how to do a highlight when you're learning how to contour is to start right at the corner of your eye, okay? And you're going to take the contour or the highlight right down, like in a straight line like that. And then I want you to take it from the other side and come straight down too. So you have like what you see as a triangle shape, okay? Super simple, nothing difficult, just a triangle. And start filling that triangle in. Now I like to use something like a simple shape like this. The triangle, it just gives you a really seamless highlight, and it really makes that light reflect exactly where it should. So you're gonna see once everything's blended, you're gonna be like, oh my god, that's what it looks like. I like to get the highlight right all the way up to the tip, because eventually I'm gonna be taking my triangle sponge and I'm gonna be going ahead and blending that in, so get as close as you can. Now I take my highlight all the way up to my nose. Some people don't like this. They don't feel like that's needed. I do it because frankly, when I add my contour, I think it makes my nose look smaller. So I'm a fan of taking it all the way in. Some people don't like that. It's up to you. And then I take it and blend it out. And I take my highlight all the way back because I want to look snatched. If you want to look snatched, you know, take that highlight out. If you've seen people that you know, have that look where they're like, whoa, they look like they literally took some tape, you know, and put it, which some people do, but I don't do that. But a lot of it has to do with how they've applied their highlight. So we're going to take again, we're going to take right at the corner, we're going to hit that triangle, hit it again. Next, we're going to go ahead and give some reflections so we can give some dimensions and really highlight those cheekbones. So I'm chunky, you know, right now, so my face is rounder than I'd like it to be. I really want it to be like, you know, like Naomi Campbell cut. So the way I'm able to do that is I'm going to be taking my highlighter, and it's going to be right here. I like to do it right at the base of my ear, so right here. And I'm going to take that, if you like squeeze your lips together, you see that cheekbone line? It should be, I like it right below that. So I'm gonna take it right here and just go ahead and gently brush down. And that's gonna give me a little bit of a highlight right there. We're gonna do the same thing on this side. Doesn't have to be perfect, just don't do it too thick, you know. Give yourself a little highlight. Next, we're gonna take the highlight, we're gonna actually do it right above the lip. So you want some light reflection there. And then I like to do it right underneath the lip and kind of like to triangle the chin a little bit. And this really makes your lips pop too, so I like this one. Alright. I kind of go in that same kind of like triangle shape. Alright. And we're also going to do the forehead, so I'm just going to triangle that out too. I like to do it right in the middle. And go ahead and fill that in. And I'm trying to do this honestly as I want it to look simple, and because I don't want people to think, oh, I can't do that. You could do this. This is nothing but trial and error, okay? I told you I'm not a makeup artist. I just like to try it out. All right, good. So I'm totally done with that for right now. I'm gonna put that down, and then I'm gonna take my other contour palette. So I have multiple contour palettes. Now I'm kind of obsessed with them, and I just buy them to buy them to try them out, which I like best. But and keep in mind, I'm using cream contours right now. Some people don't like cream, they like powder contours, but I'm going to show you cream for these purposes, and at the end I'll show you how I use a little bit of a powder contour for my cheeks. But anywho, we're going to use this dark color. Now this is the Stila, this is the Shape and Shade Custom Contour Duo, but I have it in the color Deep. Now the problem with the Stila palette, so before you go running out to get this, is that Stila makes two of these palettes, okay? The first one, which is the like medium colored one, has an amazing highlight, which is the highlight that I need, but it has too light of a contour. So I had to go up to get the contour I wanted, but this highlight isn't light enough for me. So I like this highlight more for brows, also to give like a 3D dimension to my forehead if I'm really doing the most. That's great for that. So this is good because it's only like maybe a shade lighter than my skin, so it's perfect for that mid-tone to really give some dimension to your face. If you think about like ombre nails on this, it's almost like you can ombre your face, and that's how you do it, by just having like a mid-tone between your highlighter and your contour. So we're gonna go ahead and use, I like a thick like foundation style brush for contour. And you can use this type of brush for the big ones. When I do my nose, I'm going to use a smaller brush, because if you haven't done a nose contour before, the big brush might be just too much for you and you'll make a lot of mistakes, and I don't want you to make a lot of mistakes. So we're going to start off by taking just a little bit. I just like to pat it lightly because I don't like too much product on there. Squeeze your cheeks in, and you should be able to see that line right there, and that's what you're following. That's your contour line, okay? I'm going to start here and just take that right on up. Same thing on this side. Perfect. Now I have triple chins, and I don't like this, so I'm going to take it down. I'm going to take right underneath my highlighter, so right there, same place at the base of my neck. I'm going to take this down, and I'm going to create a brand new chin. And I'm gonna cut in here just like this. Kind of make like a little triangle. And there we go. Now I'm gonna be blending this, obviously. No, I'm just gonna leave stripes, but I'm gonna blend that later, okay? So that's where I'm gonna start at. So I'm gonna take, like I said, once again, under the highlight, I'm gonna create my new awesome chin. Take it up a little bit, a little triangle effect. Then I like to do a little bit under. Now, if you don't really have this doubles problem that I have, you don't really need that as much to create, as you know, almost a chin strap that I do. But if you do have this problem, you know, do this step. Skip this step if you know you're lucky and you don't have this issue. But I like to eat lots of cheeseburgers, so I'm gonna use the Art of Illusion, which all the guys now hate because they think it's false advertisement. And I say, well, guys false advertise a lot too. We're just getting more creative with our level of false advertising. So I'm gonna blend this down into my neck, you know, just a little bit, just to get that blend going. And I'm gonna go back anyway to this and really, you know, get that going. That's just to get myself started. Ta-da! Now we're gonna take I just like a flat brush, so it's kind of like, it's kind of skinny, flat, This is perfect, I think, for doing a nose contour if you're not, normally I use that big brush, but for this purpose I thought I would use something a little skinnier just so that you can actually see and keep a little bit more control over what you're doing. So I'm going to take some more of the dark contouring. We're going to take this right here. I like to start right here, like right at where my eyebrows typically start is where I like to start the contour. So it's going to come from here, it's going to go down and just a little bit down here. So down like this and down. So I'm going to get it as close as I want to the bridge, and I'll probably actually do my nose highlight first just so you can kind of see that, so you have like a guiding point. But I use a thin brush too for my nose highlight so I can get it like bone straight, and it gives me an amazing highlight. So I'll take that down just so you can see that nose highlight, and gives you a better guide point for the contour. And I just go straight down like a pencil with this. Depends on how skinny you want your nose. I like it skinny. I like how it looks. We're gonna take it just right down. I don't like to take this down too far. If you take it down like way down here, it makes your nose look long. So if you have, I guess, like a shorter, like a stubbier type of nose, bring that contour all the way down to here, because it'll really elongate that nose for you. So I usually stop right here. I don't need a longer nose, I'm good. All right, so that's perfect. A little out of order, but we're fine. So we're gonna go ahead and take the contour. We're gonna take it right there at the brow where it starts, and we're gonna go ahead and get as close to that highlighter that we can. Just get it right on in there. And you can have like a nice decent streak. Like, don't think it has to be perfect because you're gonna be blending this. Keep that in mind. So people, when they see this, they think they look like a clown. You do. I'm totally okay with that. I've owned the clownness of this process. So just own it. Bring that on down like that. Ta-da! You got a nose contour, okay? You're good. Now some people like to do a little line of the contour right here. It almost gives like a button nose look. It's really not my thing. I feel like it draws a lot of attention. It's like the first thing I notice, and I don't want to notice the contour. I just want to feel like you naturally look like that. So that's what we're gonna do. Now some people like to use a contour along their forehead line, which most of the time I've gotten kind of away from that, but for today's purposes I'll kind of show you how you can really just shape your head. So I'm going to do it just by doing a little bit of contouring here on the sides, just to give a little bit more dimension with the powder, or I'm sorry, with this liquid cream, whatever it is. Just do a little bit like that. Doesn't have to be perfect, you know, but it just, you'll see the finished product and know why I'm doing this. But it makes my forehead look smaller. So if you have a big forehead, contouring will save your life. No more 5-head for you. You will be a good old 3-head like we all wish we were. Most of us are 4. I think I'm 4. But I kind of like the 3-head. I'm going to kind of take this down more to a 3-head as opposed to a 4-head or 5. So that's what we're gonna do. So while this is sitting, because this is a very important process, is let the contour sit, let it marinate and bake. Some people like to use a translucent powder at this point. I feel like that's more for a drag queen, just because they need so much coverage because there are spotlights. If you are someone that's going to be doing this look for the stage or something, or if you were going to be out all night doing this, you might want to do a translucent powder just to kind of give it, you know, an extra set, and then go back in and blend. But I'll be using a translucent powder later, so you'll be able to see everything. And I like to use the fiber brush better because I think it gives me a really good blend. Now if you get these little wrinkles in your forehead like I do, this blending portion will literally blend that out and blend that foundation in, so you don't have these crazy lines in your forehead and you're looking like a cuckoo person. So go ahead and blend that out, you know. I don't want to look older than what I really am. Then I'm going to take my highlight, go right under that eye, and I'm going to go back with the sponge. So I'm just going to do this portion. Get that airbrush finish I'm looking for. Go back with a sponge. I cut the corners, the tips off my sponges because I find it's easier to get into tight spaces that way, especially when it comes to your nose. So if you're having issues with that, try it out because it probably will make a world of difference for you. And I'm just gonna go back once more. And then I'm gonna blend in this contour. You can see it coming together. Hit that upper lip with this chin. And then I'm gonna hit this chin. This chin strap. Come on, chin strap. It's RuPaul. If you like RuPaul's Drag Race, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I like to blend that like that. And you'll see how now it's just giving me like a fantastic.
Bring back the awesome. Yeah! Yeah! With a great taste of Kellogg's Fruit Loops. I don't know.
Okay, so now that we have brought our contour down the nose, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my blending brush just on the back end of it. I'm going to take it right down the center of my nose to blend that highlight in. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to go back and really accentuate that in a minute, but I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of blend that in. And then one more time before I add my finishing powder, I'm just going to go through, hit any creases or lines, those pesky wrinkles. But just to go ahead and hit that and just hit the blend one more time. Perfect. Now I'm going to go ahead and use a powder. I like to go in and just add more contour after I've done my finishing powder. So normally I use the M.O.P Prep and Prime transparent finishing powder. It's amazing. But if you want, like I said, a more inexpensive option, check out NYX Cosmetics again. This is their Studio Photogenic Finishing Powder. It's awesome, and it goes on translucent, and it's HD. It's a fantastic product. I was really pleasantly surprised by how well it is, and how well it went on, and how it kind of just gave me a smooth finish. So I just like to put a little bit in the jar, in the top of the jar, and then just kind of go over everything. Really hit underneath that eye too, because there's nothing worse than doing all that contour work and it just goes away. So, and because I have that raccoon eye, I can't afford to let that under eye start showing through. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with the translucent. And that really, like I said, finishes it off for me when it comes to foundation. So there's that. Then we're going to now do a powder contour. So I got this online. It's awesome. It's by Nikki Garrett, and it's just some powder contours. This is more of a bronzy highlighter, which I don't really like it unless I'm doing it on like to accentuate my cheeks or something. I more so love the powder of it though, and I just take angled, brush. I'm gonna check my cheeks and go ahead and hit those angles so you can kind of see where I do it. It doesn't take much. Awesome. So now I have done my final contour with the Nikki palette. So now I've got my cheekbones, and my forehead, and this is a time where I like to just kind of go back and just do a little bit of blending, just making sure that everything looks even and together. And last step for my face is going to be just blush, bronzer, and a highlighter. So I'm going to show you those quick things. Usually I do this step after I've done eyes and everything, but I want to give you guys a chance to actually vote at the end of this video on what look you want me to do. So I did the face. The face is going to be really the same, but it's up to you to tell me. I'm going to post 4 different pictures of looks that I've done in the past, and you can pick which one that you love and vote by liking it or whatever. Tell me on my feed which one you'd like to see, and on my next video I'll actually do that look on my face. So I just thought I'd do the prep today so you can kind of see how that works. So when we do the look, I'll show you my blush option I'm going to choose, highlighter, and actually do my eyes and lips. And if you pick a look that's got lashes, I'll show you an easy way to apply your lashes as well. So I hope you like this contour foundation video that I did in a brow video. It's kind of a long one because it includes a few things, but I definitely wanted to help a lot of people out that have asked me for some tips and clues on how to set their face up for what they're trying to do. So until next time, guys, thanks for joining me. Remember just to keep it cute and keep it flawless. Take care.